I'm going to expand on a few items from my last video. I'm going to add a few things. But anyway, I don't know how many people here or know what a Freudian slip is. Now, this is years ago. A friend of mine had told me that he'd accidentally introduced two of his friends. They were Hank and Charlotte, but he'd accidentally introduced them as Shank and Harlot. Now, if you don't know what a Freudian slip is, it's it goes back to Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud had an obsession with sex. He kind of figured that was people were, I don't know how to phrase this and still be kid friendly. But anyway, let's just say that Sigmund Freud had an obsession with sex. He covered it in some of his books and stuff. But anyway, a Freudian slip is you accidentally say something that has a sexual connotation, a sexual reference to it, and introducing two of your friends as Shank and Harlot. I think you get what I'm saying here. And to me, that's it's a bit on the funny side. I I'll include Freudian slips, and if you have any Freudian slips, let me know. You accidentally say something that has a sexual in it. Oh, I can't. But it's got a sexual connotation to it. Let me see. I started a new list here. Okay, let me get to. You can. I don't know if you see. I'm wearing a sweater now. I'm going to take this off here in a few minutes. Now it's daytime's about 100, 105, something like that here right now. It's supposed to cool down for a few weeks before it gets super hot again. It got super hot early. Now I just don't feel like getting dirty and greasy when it's. Well, I'm not going to do it with a sweater on. I'm going to get to work, and the weather's warm enough that I can put on my old dirty T-shirt. Now I saved some dirty clothes just to do mechanic work in. Those are the clothes I set in the washer and let them soak for about 3 or 4 days. I'll start the washer, let it wash. This is an old washer that I wash them in. I just take my super dirty pants and T-shirts, and because I usually have a whole bunch of pants that, a whole load of just pants and T-shirts that I can let soak for 3 or 4 days. I guess I could pre-soak them, and I know lots of people do. But anyway, when it warms up a little bit, I get out. I've got the engine out, and I got to take it apart and see, clean it up a little bit. Replace gaskets, replace seals and stuff. I've covered that before, but I'll let it warm up a little bit before I get started. I'll probably have a video just showing you how the engine. You can imagine somebody's been leaking oil for the past couple of weeks. It is an oily mess. I'm going to clean it up. Not showroom pretty, but enough that it won't be quite a mess to put back together. Let's see. New word. I'll get to that in a minute. Mining camp. If some chick is into recreational gold mining, if you've got the equipment, if you want to set up a mining camp up, on a BLM claim, if you're a member of the Roadrunners or the GPA, or maybe there's a handful of other prospecting organizations. Now, if anybody is interested in, you can find books, publications that do list, the different organizations. Now, if anybody is around the Phoenix area, now the mining museum, it's down there like 15th Avenue and Van Buren, something like that. Don't quote me on the address. Now, I've been in there. I attended because the GPAA or the GPAP, the local Phoenix branch. This has been many years ago. I attended a couple of their meetings at the mining museum. I don't know if they're after COVID hit, so many things just went away and haven't come back. So I don't know if the GPAA, the Phoenix chapter of the GPAA, still has a meeting somewhere. It was in a number of places. But anyway, if anybody is interested in to join the GPAA, it was like 80 some bucks a year, which would give you access to all kind of BLM claims, different claims through different parts of the U.S. and Canada, which is really, really a good deal if you're into, your recreational amateur gold prospecting. But I'm just saying, if you're interested in some of the other small groups, because there were a number of small groups that did have, different claims throughout, here in Arizona. Probably Southern California too, but, the mining museum did have a list of the different amateur organizations. So if you are interested and want to join one of these, or if you want to join the GPAA or I don't know about the Roadrunners. See, the Roadrunners, I've known some Roadrunner members. That was another local. A lot of people were members of both Roadrunners and the GPA. So you don't have to be one or the other. You can join as many as you want, and work the different claims that these particular organizations have. But said if you are interested, go in to that mining museum in Phoenix. Because I think it's around 15th Avenue and Van Buren, but it's or Washington. Maybe it's on Washington. It's on one of those streets, Van Buren or Washington, around 15th Avenue, because they're all real close in there. But anyway, you go in there and ask them for the list because some of these or they did. So, but I haven't been in there a couple of years, and I need to get in there and do a video from the outside, from the inside of this museum, because they had all kind of cool pieces of it's a museum of mining equipment, and if anybody's into that type of thing, if anybody's into even automotive YouTube videos, there's stuff that's automotive related in there. So it's I definitely need to get in there and make a video. From next time I'm in downtown Phoenix, not only am I gonna get the zone, I need to get the anchor from the USS Arizona, because it is down there by the state capitol. I do have a video that I posted on Facebook, but I don't have a video that I post, from the anchor from the USS Arizona. Now, if you don't know, that was a battleship that was sunk at Pearl Harbor in November or December 7th of 1941. But anyway, there's a bunch of interesting. But back to the amateur gold prospecting. If some chick is into that, it needs a guy, not necessarily anything romantic, just somebody to tag along, help her out. Maybe she could teach me a few new tricks on gold prospecting. I'm sure you could. If you've done it very much, you're better at it than I am, because I never quite got the gold bug, and I'd like to go out there again, just tag along with somebody that just needs an extra person to go out there to learn a few things. Let's see. Sweater, mining, the new word. Let me see if I can cover this again, because this is kind of fascinating me. Use plastic to prevent leak-causing nicks. Also note new grommets on valve cover bolts. Now, let me see if I can show you. It's the way they have done this. This is obviously translated from, probably from Mandarin Chinese, because I'm sure this is, I don't know if you can see it. It says leak-causing nicks. It's just the way they presented it there. Maybe we can introduce this to the English language, or maybe English doesn't need to take up, doesn't need to learn from German, where they've, the German is really, really good about these really long compound words that are just a bunch of other words thrown together. If you know a bit of German, you see some of these, you can recognize what they are. But there's one word, it's like the longest word ever. It's it was a law. I understand it's not a real law, but it was something, trying to explain, there was some law about fishing. I can't explain it to you. Go to some of Feely in Germany's videos where she talked about this. It's the longest word in existence. Is this? It's a particular, I think it's a made-up law about some fishing rights. Just might be on my ability to explain it at the minute, but it's you think we need to introduce compound words in English that mirror the German compound words? Putting it out there, I don't know. Maybe we do. What we do in English is just put them together and don't compound them. We do the same thing, just not to quite the same extent. Okay, ciao. Y va con Dios.